Hi guys, I just wanted to do a live video on Bitcoin at the minute because we are coming up to the daily close now, and this 4-hourly time period would represent the daily close. And what I'm looking at here on Bitcoin, you can see the last time we started to form this formation. The last time we started to do this was here, where we got an upper wick like that, had some closes above with a bigger wick above there, but as we came down, we never actually got a 4-hourly candle body back above this line of liquidity. So what I'm looking at here, when analysing on the really short time period like we are now, doesn't matter too much in the long run this, but even still, just this bit of analysis can be really useful in terms of doing stuff like this in the future. So when watching for this 4-hourly close, if we get the close above or below, I think this is going to give us our clue. But really the first sign of weakness was right here when we got these 3 wicks to the upside on the 4-hourly, a really strong sign of weakness, ironically. And you can see we got a similar setup here where we have the wicks to the upside, one more, and then that is it with your pullback. And like I say, we are on the short time period here, so we're talking about little pullbacks here. But either way, zooming out just a little bit here, you can see the manipulation levels and why I've got these levels down here. So we have a trend line to the upside here with 1, 2, and a possibly third test. And as we all know, the third test of a trend line can become very manipulated. That is why I've got a manipulation zone below here, where we have a line of liquidity outlined and also some trend lines to the downside. This one is the one that I'm watching the most because it sort of comes into line with the line of liquidity. So I've outlined that as a manipulation zone. So let me just get these circles off the chart and I'll make it a lot cleaner. Just literally doing this real time because I don't do much of this. So I thought it might be quite good to put out there so we can see what we're looking at and just see how things play out in the short term period, because we know what we're expecting on the long term, but here we're just sort of trying to understand what is the market doing. And I think here would just be another point as to which the market makers are building longs, because that's what I think they're doing. If you've been watching some of my videos over the last weeks, over the last months, you know the wave structure we're expecting. I'm not going to go through it all again, but you will often see charts like this on Twitter where they are monitoring liquidity levels and seeing what liquidity is being taken, and really watching this liquidity here and then coming above it with the 3 levels of liquidity taken here, to me it's screaming out like we need a downside move. And I do think the downside move is coming, but even still, don't mean that you've got to rush in, because we have got another manipulation zone to the upside that we could spike to before ultimately I think we end up closing below here. So really what I'm looking for is wick to the upside like we've already got, close below, possibly one more wick to the upside with a bearish candle, come back up into the bearish candle a little bit like this, and then look for the move down, and that would take us into around the 4th, 5th, 6th of maybe even sooner, to be fair, 4th, 5th of December, something like that. Get into this zone where everyone's calling for this trend line's broken, this trend line's broken. They won't have this trend line mapped out yet because there's only been 2 tests, and by the time we get the 3rd test we'll probably get an initial reaction out of it in this demand zone here and then fall through, and that's into your manipulation zone. So I can really see that playing out on the lower time frame. But again, if we just zoom out, let's have a look at what is going on here. Liquidity levels, just get liquidity levels taken. To be honest, in the short term I'm not really expecting this low to be broken anymore, even though it can do with more manipulation. It looks to be enough for me with that structure of the just have a look at that structure there of the candle wicks to the downside. Often a really good sign for a bottoming. You will often get some where the wick also comes down like this and you get sort of an inverse head and shoulder on the wicks. something like that. But either way, I think what we are looking at here is just another short-term pullback. We'll probably on the daily time frame get a close within this demand region or above, but in that daily time frame I think we're going to get some manipulation on the 4 hourly, on the 1 hourly, right below there into the manipulation zone that we outlined earlier at around the 16,200 zone. And again, you know, everyone will be panicking, it always happens, and then the market will end up just flying again. Like in our previous videos when we was outlining down here with the Genesis news, that was expecting a move up like this in a 5-wave fashion, and it happens every single time. So it won't be so different to get a nice little 3-wave move to the downside here and look for the 16,200 zone to come into play. So that is really what I am looking at the minute, and that really overall is just a bit of analysis on the overall lower time frame trend here on the Bitcoin 4 hourly. You've got your points of liquidity, your manipulation levels marked out in advance, your trends and your support zone. So I think if you've got this on your chart at the minute, you should be looking good. Really just watch out for this. I think this is going to be an area where market makers are building longs again, whereas here we are pumping right above this liquidity level right here on the 4 hourly, and it's going to be an important one. It won't surprise me. Come up, fill a bit of this wick, close below, get the move down over the next couple of days. You know, maybe some negative news comes out about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Once again, just like we got down here, a bit of negative news. Trend line break, everyone's panicking, calling for 14k next. And then we just get our next leg up into the market. And I think the next leg up into the market is, for me, if we get that sign of manipulation down there, market makers building longs, the next bit of resistance really doesn't seem like much. I think we probably come up and fill this wick. So lower time frame guys, just watch out for this. Watch out for that quick move down, and then watch out for that in the manipulation zone around the 16,000 zone. Can go under, might go over, we don't know. And just watch out for that move, because I think it is coming. So really pleased with what I'm seeing here on the lower time frame. Just try and remember to stay relaxed, stay focused on what the plan is at the minute. We've had these plans outlined for quite a while, since these structures here giving us the bullish divergence on the daily and on the weekly. So these little moves are designed to just get people out, just so the market maker can start to build longs, in my opinion anyway. So of course it's not financial advice, and I'll probably finish off this video. I'll leave it for 7 minutes here, finish off the video. We'll see where that 4 hourly closes, and we'll just round up from there. So like I spoke about earlier, just a few minutes ago, we was monitoring this wick to the upside to come and get filled, and you can see there's 30 seconds now coming up to this 4 hourly candle closure. And it won't surprise me if at the last minute right here we get the close below. So just patiently watching here, see what's going to happen, because you know, close above here could suggest a change or a bit of a shift in what's going on. But price is stalling out here for some reason. For some reason price is stalling out here, which gives me the inclination that I think we're probably going to end up dropping here. Yeah, I think, look at this, the wick has come up and nearly got filled. I think this is a bit of manipulation before we end up dropping down below. So I know I mentioned earlier about these candles here not closing above that line of liquidity, but I think if we just watch here for a little bit, I think we're going to see price come down and end up filling this wick, coming down into this demand zone, getting down here, get that trend line retest down here, bit of manipulation, and then look into the middle of December for a proper move up where we'd probably be looking for some longs. So let's just watch this a bit closer, because I reckon what we could be getting here is that final bit of manipulation to the upside that I mentioned. Something like where if we come up here, don't know, not that high, but right into the trend line, something like that, where we get the wick, leave a bit of a hanging man candle structure, and come down in the coming days. So I think I'm probably gonna leave it there. That was just a bit of a video of me analysing the market real time. I'm going to put this out either way because we might be right, we might be wrong. So I'm going to put it out either way, and you guys can just get a better idea of what I monitor on the lower time frame, and maybe this can help you in your own analysis at some points. And yeah, again, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, just analysing the market myself. So if you do get any benefit from this, don't forget to drop a like. Let me know what you think in the comments, and of course, if you aren't subscribed, guys, subscribe, because a lot of you have not already subscribed. So if that's one of you, this is your signal to go ahead and click that button of subscribe. But yeah, gonna push this out right now anyway, and in the coming days after you've watched this video, we'll probably have our answer. So cheers again, guys, and I'll see you next time.